learned how small of a difference, like how big of a difference you can make with a small act. So a lot of the times, a lot of people don't think that, oh, just doing one small little thing can make a difference.
Hello, everybody. Josh Rubenstein, Media Director for Kaiser Permanente, Southern California, and this is another KP Canon Conversations. Today, we're talking about being a volunteer. We have so many dedicated physicians, staff, employees, support staff at our medical centers and our medical office buildings, and they work so hard. It is amazing to me that any of them have the time to go above and beyond that regular workday and volunteer for some of the causes that KP cares so very much about. One partnership that we really have invested in, Special Olympics of Southern California, very near and dear to my heart. Anybody that has ever participated in anything having to do with Special Olympics knows what a gratifying experience it is to volunteer to work for this special organization. Today we're going to meet Belinda Briseño, one of those very special volunteers.
I was a Kaiser baby. I was in Kaiser a lot. I was in there a lot because I had asthma and all these medical problems. And so I just saw the environment. And so I knew one day that's where I wanted to be. And I wanted to be able to do that for other people. And so I did other things, of course, along the way. And very quickly I said, you know what, I'm going to go into nursing and I'm going to see where that takes me. And then when I got the notification requesting people to volunteer for Special Olympics, I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to do them, but it's kind of nerve-wracking. So I went ahead and I applied to do both days because I didn't have nothing to do that weekend. And actually I went and I was in love with it. That community was just super involving. Everybody knew everybody. Everybody was so welcoming. And it was just really nice to be there, to just see the different things that are available for that community,
Let's take a step back. Tell me about, did you grow up in Southern California?
I did. I grew up here in Baldwin Park.
In Baldwin Park.
Yeah.
And you are a Kaiser Permanente baby, right?
Yes.
Tell me about the journey to becoming a nurse. What kind of schooling did you go through? How tough was it?
So I went pretty early on. I went to school at 18 for my nursing. So I went to a school here in La Puente called Hacienda La Puente. It's a vocational school. I had originally started at Mount Sac because I wanted to do their program. And somebody was like, oh yeah, I've been here for 4 years waiting for to get into the program. I was like, no, I don't have time like that. So I went for a vocational program, and then it's an 11-month program. And that gave me my my degree for my licensed vocational nursing. And then as of right now, I'm going back for my RN. So I'm in that path
for you.
still. But
good for you.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So tell me what kind of work you do.
So right now I work in family medicine. So I work ages 12 to end of life pretty much. So we get everybody.
Really?
Yeah. We get everybody. Yeah. Depending on our doctors.
And what is it about being a nurse that appeals to you so much? What drives your engine every day?
So for me, I make everything kind of personal. I know they say not to, but I do. So, in every path that I've gone through, I've done the hospice route, I kind of treat my patients like if they were my family, because that's the best way for them to get the best care, and for you kind of to feel like you're at the end of the day, you're not driving yourself nuts. And it's hard because sometimes you feel like you can't do the most, but it kind of gives you a drive to want to know more, and the more information you know, the more you can do for them. And if you for myself, I just push myself to know more. And so I know tidbits everywhere, so I always make fun of myself, the jack of all trades. I know little bits here and there, and it doesn't always equate to one big thing, but I just pride on myself knowing that I can get a little bit and then push pieces together to get myself to the end point. And if I don't know something, I push myself to find out what I need to know to get to answer these questions, you know.
I love that. I love that. So to do this interview actually was even very difficult because we have a very small window. I'm
Yeah.
taking your break right now. This is your kind of your rest time, and I'm taking it up. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a pretty grueling schedule being a nurse, right?
Yeah. Yeah. This is the the better of my schedules in my nursing career so far. I've done the 16-hour days, the 12-hour days, an 8-hour day is pretty like lenient, but yeah, I do get only like right now I'm only getting 1 hour in the middle of my day. So I'm
Well,
like 15 minutes, let me just stuff something in my mouth real quick so I can be prepared for this. Because I was like, I don't want to go in here and be like completely empty and then like you're hearing the
yeah.
stomach gurgling.
Or I get the hangry. I get the
Yeah.
hangry, Belinda. Trust me,
Oh
I
yeah,
know.
you don't want the hangry
Um,
Belinda.
so if you're so busy, building time into then volunteer for an organization like Special Olympics, where did that come from?
Um, the volunteering actually gives me it energizes my batteries. Like
Mm,
being able because beyond the Special Olympics, like I've done the mentoring and just going there and just seeing the kids and like it just makes me happy. I feed off the joy that they have. So it just energizes me at the end of the day. So I feel more happier being able to do that and just see that because they don't they don't just say like, oh, okay, thank you for coming. Okay, bye. They're very appreciative, and they're like, oh, your name is Belinda. Okay, you're gonna come back next year. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna see you. Or you're here tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna come back to say hi to you. You know, and so just seeing that it's a community that like they just very quickly took me into. So when I got the notification, hey, do you want to participate next year? I was like, yeah. What are the days? Let me put my schedule in real quick. Like it really it energizes my batteries. Like that just makes me more happy to just go and take part. Because at the end of the day, like I'm not doing much. If I wasn't gonna be there, I'd probably be at home cleaning, and nobody wants to clean. So I'd rather be out there doing it, making a change. Okay, so
all right, I buy that. I buy that. Well, tell me what you do, how you volunteer for Special Olympics.
last year I was an ambassador. So I was just answering some questions and then giving out some Kaiser's like memorabilia and things like that. And then I got to go over to the tents and kind of meet some other of the staff and things like that. But I know that there's different things that they were doing. So they were doing like fan in the stand. So that's where even our Kaiser employees are able to bring their families and be participating by supporting um, the well, I want to say employees, but
Yeah,
they're supporting the team members and
yeah.
so that was really interesting because I know I had told some of my coworkers, hey, come on down, like I saw that you don't even have to sign up, you could just show up, but I was volunteered more in the site of that I was just a team lead and I was an ambassador, so I was more just talking about Kaiser, and people were just asking me questions about like, oh, um, I was having a hard time with this, and I would be like, "Oh, did you know that you can just go onto your app and you could just do this real quick?" Like just answering simple questions. And a lot of
Hmm.
people just didn't know that these are some things that are available, but because not only am I an employee, I'm a member, I'm able to be like, hey, I've gone through the similar thing and this is what I've done. And so, and I've worked in different regions. So I've worked here in Balm Park and I've worked in Riverside region. So I kind of know a little bit of like the differences. And then if I don't have a question, I know where to like, hey, where this is where you can go to get a little bit more information.
I love it. Which events have you worked? You've done the games?
Hmm.
Did you do the plane pull? Did you?
I was not able to do the plane pool. I know I was very excited for that.
That's a fun event.
I wanted to
Yeah.
go to even the was the Great Wolf Lodge, the lighting.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, how can I get in? That sounded really fun, but I did mainly the big event, our Summer Olympics last year was my main event.
Hmm. Hmm. And being there. being in the environment, I assume it was pretty exciting.
Oh, it was very exciting. It was the first day I was kind of nervous. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna be standing here, but very quickly it turned into a party. Like there was
Uh-huh.
dancing, there was many horses there. There was BJ's was giving out floats, and there was people braiding hair, and I had colored hair for the next day. So I enjoyed myself. We had they were giving
Great.
out snacks. Pepsi was there. Everybody was there. So it was a very big event. It was a lot bigger than I thought it was. I thought it was going to be a small time, like okay, we're just supporting. No, it was very very big. So I was very excited for the second day.
And Special Olympics, I mean, like any time you volunteer, but you had mentioned it before. They just really appreciate the organization really appreciates that we come out and volunteer and support.
Yeah, they do. They do. I think everyone was very excited. To have even Kaiser there. I had seen a lot of people coming up and talking to like our coordinators, and they knew each other by name. And our one of our directors knows almost every single person by their name, and it was very very nice for me to even see that, because it doesn't seem like it's just like business. It actually is like a community, so it's very very exciting.
Is there something that you have learned along the way that makes you a better nurse, a better person in volunteering for these things?
Let's see. I think I learned how small of a difference, like how big of a difference you can make with a small act.
Mm,
So a lot of the times people, like a lot of people don't think that, oh, just doing one small little thing can make a difference. And the truth of it all is like I just saw people just being so kind to be like, "Oh, I don't want this toy. Here, give it to this person." And then it's like a cascade effect from one small little gadget giving it to somebody else, and then now this little girl got this big giant Ariel doll that she's wanted for all her life. And so it I just saw a lot of positivity. So I think it's just kind of pushed me to be a little bit more positive. So throughout the whole entire event, I just continue to like try to spread those positive vibes, and it was very very exciting. I was very happy that I was be able to be a part of that.
that's great. How important is it to you to work for an organization that supports these kinds of nonprofits, these kinds of institutions? How important is it for you to be a part of an organization that supports that?
It's very important for me just because I nursing is beyond the daily care. It's about like the morals, the ethics of what we all want to be behind, and to be able to go out and just show that we're beyond the hey, come to the office when you're sick. We're there in the good, the bad. It proves that we're just a whole life experience. So for myself, I it does drain you to know that you're working for somebody that just is like caring about the paycheck. So I feel very excited when I come in and I'm like, oh, there's another experience so I can be a part of, and I could change somebody else's life.
That's great. God, we are so lucky to have you, Belinda. What would you tell someone who is thinking about volunteering? You know what? I got stuff to do this weekend. How would you convince them?
Um, Give just a part of your day. Even if you say, I'm just going to give them 2 hours, you're going to go and you say, I'm going to give them 2 hours. You go for your 2 hours, and then you're going to be like, you know what? I don't think I have anything better to do today. I'll just stay here the rest of the day, because that's what ended up happening for myself. I think the first day I volunteered for 4 hours, and then I was like, okay, so I'll be here to close. So what do you guys need help with? So just if you ever feel like you're not confident in doing something, just push yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone, and you'll see that you will find experiences that you never thought you would ever be comfortable doing, and you'll find a new fun happiness.
I love it. I love it, Belinda. You are a beautiful soul. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for being a part of Kaiser Permanente and volunteering for Special
Well,
Olympics.
thank you for reaching out to me and having going through all these up and downs to try to get this conversation going.